Full spoilers and plot breakdown for Mortal Kombat 2, 2026 film. This report provides a detailed, scene-by-scene analysis of the upcoming film Mortal Kombat 2, synthesizing confirmed cast information, trailer breakdowns, production details, and plot elements derived from confidential test screening leaks. The film, directed by Simon McQuoid and written by Jeremy Slater, serves as the direct continuation of the 2021 reboot, drastically expanding the universe and fulfilling the promise of the actual Mortal Kombat tournament. Strategic overview: the new Mortal Kombat era. The sequel pivots sharply from the introduction of the champions in the 2021 film to the central event of the franchise, the Mortal Kombat tournament itself. This narrative decision directly addresses previous fan critique that the first movie avoided the core competition structure. The global threat resurfaces, escalated stakes, and the new tournament mandate. The plot commences under immediate duress, confirming that the victory achieved by Earthrealm in the previous film was merely a reprieve. The threat level is now maximal. If the Earthrealm fighters fail to achieve victory in the current tournament, the Outworld Overlord Shao Kahn, played by Martin Ford, will invade and permanently take over the planet. The fate of Earthrealm hinges entirely on the outcome of these battles, establishing a genuine, existential consequence for every single match. The production team, guided by Mortal Kombat co-creator Ed Boon, has ensured that the film treats the competition with the utmost seriousness. Boon specifically stated that the sequel would not be just a tournament for the sake of a tournament, emphasizing the huge consequences involved, demanding that the audience truly understands the scoring and consequences of each match. This shift in tone means the character deaths and fatalities observed in the leaks carry definitive weight, justifying the high cost of the conflict. The film incorporates a unique cinematic mechanism to visually represent this scoring. Trailers showcase a distinctive effect, where red and blue colors light up the sky like fireworks. This element functions as a public scoreboard, visually reminding the champions and the audience who is winning, and how close Outworld is to securing the 10 victories required for absolute invasion, lending real-time, easily understood cinematic tension to the high-stakes narrative. Production chronology and verification, the leak landscape. Mortal Kombat 2 faced delays following its production, initially scheduled for release in October 2025. The film was officially pushed back to a new release date of May 15, 2026. This decision was reportedly made by Warner Bros. And New Line Cinema to capitalize on the summer box office, suggesting high confidence in the film's expanded scale and quality, following an enthusiastic fan reaction to the initial trailer. While the cast and the overall premise are officially confirmed, the highly detailed plot points and definitive list of character deaths presented in this report are primarily derived from confidential test screening leaks. The mention of reshoots contributing to the delay suggests the filmmakers optimized key narrative segments, possibly refining the more intense or controversial plot points, such as the major hero fatalities or the cinematic introductions of key villains like Shao Kahn and Noob Saibot. The current detailed plot breakdown relies on the consistent reporting from these leaked accounts, offering a highly probable, though unofficial, complete narrative trajectory. 2. Earthrealm's new champion and returning defenders. The sequel drastically reconfigures the hierarchy of Earthrealm's champions, shifting the focus away from the original film's protagonist Cole Young to the introduction and ascension of a fan-favorite legacy character, Johnny Cage. The reluctant star, Johnny Cage's path to chosen status, Karl Urban. The film's central emotional and transformative arc belongs to Karl Urban's Johnny Cage. When the character is first introduced, he is depicted not as the confident, world-renowned action star of the video games, but as a very dispirited character whose career is completely in the tank. He is revealed to have neglected his martial arts training, and the world has largely forgotten who he is, making him a broken man, rather than the typical brash, cocky Cage known to fans. This diminished initial status serves a distinct narrative purpose, as articulated by writer Jeremy Slater, who argued that the successful, peak career version of Johnny Cage isn't a character you can go on a journey with. By grounding Cage in failure, the sequel provides him with the necessary trajectory for meaningful growth and transformation into a true champion. The recruitment scene establishes the urgency and Cage's initial skepticism, with Lord Raiden, Tadanobu Asano, approaching the washed-up actor to launch him involuntarily into this insane action epic adventure. Cage's struggle throughout the film centers on his lack of innate supernatural abilities. He famously states he cannot throw fireballs, shoot lightning like his counterparts. His arc culminates in him gaining the necessary confidence and unlocking his unique signature power, a mystical force field often seen in the games, symbolized by a glowing chest emblem. The core returning team and shifts in protagonism. The established heroes return to fill crucial roles, though not all survive the escalating violence. Louis Tan returns as Cole Young, the protagonist of the 2021 film, but the plot structure relegates him to a secondary role in favor of Johnny Cage. This diminished screen time strongly supports the leaked information about his early and brutal demise, which acts as a pivot point for the narrative by demonstrating the sheer power of the new antagonist. Liu Kang, Ludi Lin, Raiden's powerful protege, returns ready to fight. His key emotional conflict involves facing his former friend, Kung Lao, Max Huang, who was killed by Shang Tsung in the first film but returns, likely as a corrupted revenant under Outworld's control. This tragic duel sets the stage for Liu Kang's final, sacrificial confrontation with Shao Kahn. The special forces are represented by Sonya Blade, Jessica McNamee, and the cybernetically enhanced Jax, Mechhead Brooks. Jax's newly upgraded, formidable arms emphasize his strength, but this power is deployed strategically to amplify the lethality of Shao Kahn's encounter with him, reinforcing the new villain's unstoppable nature. C. The resurrected wildcard, Kano. The crass Australian mercenary Kano, Josh Lawson, who was killed by Sonya Blade in the previous film, makes an unexpected return. His resurrection, along with other deceased fighters, is highly probable due to the intervention of the newly introduced sorcerer. Quan Chi Kano's return ensures that the Black Dragon clan is still a factor, though whether he is a mindless revenant or simply resurrected and aligned with Outworld for pure profit remains a pivotal point in his limited arc. 3. The Outworld contingent, Tyranny, Necromancy, and Shadow. The sequel's roster is dramatically expanded, with high-profile antagonists, ensuring the scale matches the newly introduced threat of invasion. The film delivers the long-awaited appearances of Outworld's Emperor, a critical necromancer, and the lore-accurate transformation of a returning anti-hero. A. The Tyrant's Arrival. Shao Kahn, Martin Ford. Martin Ford portrays Shao Kahn, the tyrannical ruler of Outworld. His entrance is monumental, finally establishing him as the primary, physically devastating threat to Earthrealm. Shao Kahn, seen in his signature menacing armor, functions as the ultimate boss character. His sole purpose in the narrative is to secure Outworld's victory through brute force and unparalleled martial skill. The devastating results of his arrival, the swift fatalities dealt to major Earthrealm champions, justify his designation as the ruler and the existential threat that drives the plot forward. B. Necromancy and Shadow, the rise of Quan Chi and Noob Saibot. The introduction of the sorcerer Quan Chi, Damon Harriman, is critical to the sequel's plot mechanics. As a sinister necromancer, Quan Chi's magic is the only explanation for the rapid expansion of the roster through Resurrection. His presence confirms that the threat is no longer purely martial but magical, allowing the filmmakers to instantly bring back fan-favorite characters who met their demise in the 2021 film, including Kano and Bi-Han. The most significant resurrection involves Joe Taslim's Bi-Han, the original Sub-Zero who was killed by Scorpion. Taslim confirmed that Bi-Han was reanimated in the Netherrealm by a sorcerer, initiating his transformation into the Shadow Warrior Noob Saibot. This transformation involves shedding his previous cryomancy, ice powers, and replacing them with darker shadow-based abilities, making him even more formidable. Director Simon McQuoid prioritized honoring the history of Noob Saibot, ensuring his appearance, a black-clad, colorless revenant with empty eyes, is faithful to his source material history as the C. The Edenian Royal House and Outworld's Warriors. The roster expansion includes key figures from the realm of Edenia, setting up internal conflicts within Outworld's leadership structure. Kitana, Adeline Rudolph, is introduced as Shao Kahn's adopted daughter and personal assassin. Her conflicted loyalty, alongside her ally Jade, Tati Gabrielle, becomes a pivotal element of the climax. Queen Sindel, Anathun Nguyen, the mother of Kitana and former wife of King Jared, Desmond Chiam, is confirmed as an antagonist aligned with Shao Kahn. The leaks regarding her temporary death and immediate resurrection by Quan Chi confirm her status as an undead servant, aligning with her complex and tragic canonical role. Providing brute force on the Outworld side is Baraka, C.J. Bloomfield, the fearsome Tarkatan warrior. He is featured in action sequences utilizing a combination of practical and CGI design, showcasing his iconic arm blades as Johnny Cage is seen dodging his projectiles. IV. Full plot breakdown, the tournament and invasion scenarios. The film meticulously structures the plot around the tournament, creating a chronological progression of victories, defeats, and inevitable sacrifices leading to the final confrontation. A. Act 1. Recruitment, Training, and the First Blood. The film begins with the urgency of the new tournament rules, where Earthrealm's champions are swiftly gathered. Lord Raiden successfully recruits the disgraced actor, Johnny Cage, forcing him into intensive training with Sonya and Jax. The tournament commences, likely taking place in Outworld, and utilizing the real-time scoring system, the sky lighting up in red and blue, to constantly remind the champions of the stakes. The Earthrealm champions, including Cole Young, face Outworld's forces early on. In a shocking display designed to immediately establish Shao Kahn as an overwhelming, insurmountable threat, the first major fatalities occur. Leaks indicate that both the original film's protagonist, Cole Young, and the heavily enhanced Special Forces leader, Jax Briggs, are killed by Shao Kahn in quick succession. Cole is reportedly killed with overwhelming force. Shao Smash! While Jax is violently impaled in the neck by the sharp end of the Warhammer. This brutal opening ensures the narrative focus shifts entirely to the surviving legacy heroes, Cage and Liu Kang, who must now carry the overwhelming burden of Earthrealm's defense. B. Act 2. The descent into chaos and the Revenant conflict. The middle portion of the film focuses on intense duels across various dimensions, including the Netherrealm, and settings that resemble the iconic Portal Arena. This act is characterized by emotional and magical conflicts involving resurrections and revenge. The resurrection of Kung Lao forces a tragic confrontation. Kung Lao, now a corrupted revenant, fights his lifelong friend and fellow Shaolin monk, Liu Kang. This battle culminates in one of the most brutal leaked fatalities. Liu Kang is tragically forced to execute Kung Lao, utilizing a powerful, spinning energy attack known as the Buzzsaw Fatality. This sacrifice serves as a devastating emotional blow to the Earthrealm team. Simultaneously, the rivalry between the two specters comes to a head. Scorpion, Hanzo Hasashi, confronts the newly transformed Noob Saibot, Bihan, in the hellish landscapes of the Netherrealm. Scorpion achieves his ultimate revenge, utilizing a combined move where he pulls Noob Saibot in with his spears and then gorily slices him in half with his sword. This showdown is confirmed to be one of the most violent and fatality-inspired sequences in the movie. The magical superiority of Outworld is demonstrated when Sonya Blade defeats Queen Sindel, using her energy ring weapons. However, Quan Chi immediately negates this victory by resurrecting Sindel shortly after the killing, highlighting the difficulty Earthrealm faces in achieving definitive victory against a foe capable of rapidly replenishing their dead. C. Act 3. The Final Gauntlet and the Tyrant's Fall. In the final act, the remaining champions face the ultimate power structure of Outworld. Shang Tsung, the main antagonist of the previous film, is quickly dealt with by Lord Raiden. Leaks suggest Raiden defeats the sorcerer by supermaning him off a cliff, leading to an implied off-screen death. This action removes Shang Tsung as a rival threat, streamlining the climax to focus exclusively on Shao Kahn. Despite his martial prowess, Liu Kang is unable to defeat the Emperor. In a devastating moment, Shao Kahn impales Liu Kang through the chest with the large end of his hammer. This critical hero fatality serves to maximize the desperation and emotional stakes, ensuring that Earthrealm's ultimate survival comes at the highest possible cost, simultaneously setting up Liu Kang's canonical destiny for a future resurrection as the powerful fire god. The final decisive confrontation involves the remaining champions and the internal conflict within Outworld. Johnny Cage, having completed his transformation and unlocked his inner power, fights as a true Earthrealm champion. However, the killing blow against Shao Kahn comes from Kitana, his adopted daughter. The test screening leaks confirm that Kitana turns on the Emperor and stabs him through the eyes. This moment is narratively significant, aligning with her long-established destiny in the game lore as the rightful heir to Edenia who overthrows the tyrant who usurped her family. V. The Mortality Report. Confirmed and leaked character deaths. The high death toll of Mortal Kombat 2 emphasizes the lethal consequences of the tournament, distinguishing which characters are temporary victims of necromancy and which are sacrificial victims who propel the surviving champions toward victory. The deaths of established heroes, Cole, Jax, Liu Kang, serve a profound narrative purpose. They demonstrate that the Earthrealm victory is earned through immense sacrifice. The following table synthesizes the reported fatalities and definitive character deaths derived from test screening plot information. The character mortality status in Mortal Kombat 2. Character name. Status in MK2. Killer. Method of death. Fatality description. Significance/future status. Cole Young. Major death. Leaked. Shao Kahn. Shao Smash. Brutal force with Warhammer. Sacrifice confirms the high stakes. Eliminates the film original protagonist. Major Jax Briggs. Major death. Leaked. Shao Kahn. Impaled in the neck by the pointy tip of Shao Kahn's hammer. Demonstrates Shao Kahn's power, overcoming Jax's cybernetic enhancements. Liu Kang. Major death. Leaked. Shao Kahn. Impalement through the chest with Shao Kahn's hammer. Highest cost for Earthrealm. Strong setup for a fire god resurrection in the third film. Shang Tsung. Major death. Leaked. Lord Raiden. Implied off-screen death. Supermaned him off a cliff. Removes him as a competing antagonist before the final boss fight. Revenant Kung Lao. Major death. Leaked. Liu Kang. The Buzzsaw Fatality. Spinning energy attack. Tragic emotional conflict for Liu Kang. Definitive end of the corrupted Revenant. Queen Sindel. Temporary death. Leaked. Sonya Blade. Killed by Sonya's energy ring weapons. Immediately resurrected by Quan Chi. Highlighting the threat of necromancy. Noob Saibot. Bihan. Major death. Confirmed/leaked. Scorpion. Hanzo Hasashi. Sliced in half with a sword after being pulled by spears. Definitive resolution to the Sub-Zero/Scorpion rivalry. Most visually gory fatality. Shao Kahn. Defeat/implied death. Leaked. Kitana. Stabbed through the eyes. The final decisive blow fulfills Kitana's destiny to overthrow the tyrant. VI. Exhaustive analysis of fatalities, moves, and Easter eggs. The film's commitment to fan service is evident in the choreography, visual environments, and specific character nods integrated throughout the sequel. A. Fatalities and brutalities in detail. The film significantly ups the violence from the 2021 film, leaning heavily into game mechanics to create cinematic fatalities. The showdown between Scorpion and Noob Saibot is the pinnacle of this violence. The sequence features Scorpion using his signature Get Over Here spear attack, using 2 chains, to pull the shadowy warrior toward him, followed by slicing Noob Saibot in half with his sword. This combination, while not an exact copy of any single game fatality, is heavily inspired by Scorpion's classic brutal finishing moves. Similarly, the fight involving the Revenant Kung Lao guarantees the spectacular use of his razor-sharp hat. The leaked death of Kung Lao at the hands of Liu Kang confirms the utilization of the buzzsaw fatality, a move that results in the vertical slicing of the opponent. Even the new villain, Baraka, is featured prominently, showcasing his signature arm blades. A trailer sequence displays Johnny Cage dodging these horrifying bone projectiles. B. Visual and narrative nods, Easter eggs. Beyond the gore, Mortal Kombat 2 incorporates several fun, subtle acknowledgments of the franchise's legacy. 1. The Portal Arena. Fight sequences are set in expansive locations, including one setting strongly identified as a homage to the Portal Arena, a key tournament environment that was first introduced in the Mortal Kombat 2 video game. This fulfills a desire for the movie to feature more iconic, identifiable game stages. 2. The classic Cage Ride. As an acknowledgement of Johnny Cage's Hollywood roots and the franchise's film history, the character drives a 1995 Ford Mustang. This specific model year is a subtle, yet direct, reference to the release year of the original Mortal Kombat film, 1995, firmly planting Karl Urban's version into the cinematic lineage of the character. 3. The visual score. The mechanical implementation of the tournament score, represented by red and blue fireworks lighting up the sky, is a creative way to translate the scoreboard system of the video games directly into a high-stakes film mechanic, ensuring that the audience is constantly aware of the consequences. 7. Appendix confirmed and new major cast roster. The expansion of the cast roster underscores the increased scope of the conflict, balancing returning heroes with major lore-critical antagonists. Major character roster and status. Character name. Actor. Status in MK2. Significance. Shao Kahn, Martin Ford, new major antagonist. Outworld overlord. The central physical and military threat. Johnny Cage, Karl Urban, new Earth Realm champion. The central arc transforms from a washed-up actor into a true champion. Noob Saibot, Bihan, Joe Taslim, returning, transformed. Resurrected Sub-Zero, now a shadow ninja. Climactic opponent for Scorpion. Quan Chi, Damon Harriman, new major antagonist, sorcerer/necromancer, catalyst for the resurrections of Bihan, Kano, and Sindel. Kitana, Adeline Rudolph, new Earthrealm ally, Shao Kahn's adopted daughter, crucial role in the tyrant's final defeat. Jade, Tati Gabrielle, new character, Kitana's bodyguard and ally, fights across various realms. Queen Sindel, Anna Thung Nguyen, new Outworld antagonist, Kitana's mother, serves Outworld, demonstrating the magic of immediate resurrection. Kung Lao, Max Huang, returning, Revenant, returns from death, tragically fights, and is killed by Liu Kang. Cole Young, Louis Tan, returning protagonist, secondary role, sacrificial victim killed by Shao Kahn early in the tournament. Kano, Josh Lawson, returning, resurrected, killed in the 2021 film, returned via necromancy, likely retaining his mercenary nature. Scorpion, Hanzo, Hiroyuki Sanada, returning champion, achieves definitive, gory revenge against the transformed Noob Saibot. Baraka, CJ Bloomfield, new Outworld warrior, fearsome Tarkatan warrior, providing a physically monstrous threat. Lord Raiden, Tadanobu Asano, returning champion, Earthrealm protector, manages the tournament and defeats Shang Tsung. Sonya Blade, Jessica McNamee, returning champion, Special Forces operative, involved in the fight against Sindel and the recruitment efforts. 8. Conclusions and future implications. The synthesis of production details and test screening leaks reveals that Mortal Kombat 2 is designed to be a significant narrative escalation, directly tackling the franchise's central tournament structure and dramatically raising the mortality rate for major characters. The film successfully executes a necessary narrative pivot by establishing Johnny Cage as the redemptive emotional core, while simultaneously sacrificing key existing heroes, such as Cole Young and Jax, to demonstrate the overwhelming power of Shao Kahn. This high death toll, particularly the fatalities dealt to beloved protagonists, ensures that the film fully pays off the huge consequences promised by the creators. Furthermore, the introduction of Quan Chi is a clever structural move, providing the necessary magical justification for the resurrection of fan-favorite characters like Bi-Han as Noob Saibot, Kano, and Kung Lao. This instantly expands the roster while grounding the deaths of the previous film within the larger mystical structure of the Mortal Kombat universe. The most critical setup for the franchise's future lies in the devastating death of Liu Kang at the hands of Shao Kahn. This dramatic sacrifice sets the absolute highest stakes for the third installment, virtually guaranteeing his resurrection as the immensely powerful fire god Liu Kang, a transformation central to modern Mortal Kombat lore. The defeat of Shao Kahn by Kitana also establishes her as a decisive figure, providing narrative closure to the current threat, while ensuring the remaining magical antagonists, such as Quan Chi, survive to set the stage for subsequent films focusing on the Netherrealm and characters like Shinnok. The current plot trajectory strongly indicates that Mortal Kombat 2 functions as a brutal, sacrificial bridge, necessary to transition the cinematic universe into its most powerful, high-stakes phase yet.